Welcome to the first ever PRS show. I'm your host, Ken Wheeler, or at least the host this first time. And I have a couple of my friends here. I'll let you guys introduce yourself. Clay, Josh.
Clay Blacketer from Oklahoma.
Gold Bolt winner, 2019, competitor since 2016. All right.
Washed. 17. This is going to be my 10th season.
10th season. Love it. Love it. Josh?
Yeah, Josh Hedged from Illinois, JE Precision Shooting. It's my business. Worked for Forster Products. Been shooting since 2019. So,
yeah. Right on. Right on. Man, this is the first show of the 2026 season. We're coming up on our first match of the 2026 Pro Series season here this weekend. We're going to talk about that quite a bit. Bring the match director on, talk about his match. This is the 15th year of the PRS, which is kind of crazy to think. And it's also the 4th year that we've owned it, going into the 4th year. It's been exciting. It's awesome to be a part of this and to get to do things like what we're talking about tonight. So where the show came from, why are we doing this? Clay and I were having a spirited phone conversation probably a month ago where Clay's telling me
first time ever.
Clay's using facts and figures and data to prove his point to me, where I'm probably using more emotional and what I think is brain power and all that. But as you'll find out in the show, Clay is usually right. But at the end of that conversation, amidst a little bit of frustration that I was having, he just says, "So who do you think is going to win Gravestone?" And we went on a few minute back and forth about who's going to win. And our pick isn't even signed up, honestly, Clay. Right. So we'll get to that. But we had this fun banter back and forth. We talked about who's going to win, by how many points, etc. We agreed on some things there, and our estimates were close to one another. But we realized how much fun it was, and it's like, you know what? I think this is a good show idea. So we're going to do that throughout the season. Talk about winners, talk about upcoming matches, bring on guest hosts and commentators, and just do a good job communicating. So, all right. With that, we're going to move on to the next segment here. A couple updates for the year, and we have we're gonna talk about hybrid scoring. We're gonna talk about the impact scoring and the bringing that on board and a partnership there, and then some rule updates from Steiner. Let's start with hybrid scoring. Clay, can you talk to me about this?
For sure. So I think this is one of those things that kind of just evens out the scoring from east to west, which has kind of been an issue in the past. So right now, or in 2025, if you had gotten 195 impacts and the winner got 196, you would divide those two numbers times 100, and that's your points for the match. The thing that has changed in this year is you're also incorporating your placement. So if you go out to a match and you get beat by Morgan King by 10 shots, instead of just walking away with an 85, if there was 100 shooters there and you got second place, you get 99 points for your placement, 85 for your percentage, average of the two, and that's your new score. For most of your central and western matches, I think points are going to even out, probably go up a little bit, and it's just, I think, it'll make it a little bit more fair from east to west.
Yeah, I think a couple of things there to talk about, right? Like the West Coast type matches, you usually see winners gap the field, right? And then the second place guy, it's like, well, thanks for coming out, but you didn't earn any points, right? Right. And it changes that now. Now that
for sure it does.
Your average will go up, your points earned should go up a little bit because of your placement, right?
For sure.
Versus
I got to experience that firsthand. Morgan Skulldrug me in California last year. Second place. No points to show for it.
Was that a qualifier too?
It was.
That hurts.
What are you going to do?
It could equally go both ways too, though,
Mm-hmm. Well, so explain, like an East Coast match, how does that work out?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be East Coast, but if like you take second place and you're supposed to get, well, you get 99, so that doesn't matter. But my scenario, I guess I was thinking of, is when I got like 10th place last year in North Dakota, but got 78 points. Well, that was at least the weekend,
Right.
Like one guy just drug everybody. And
yep, Rowdy had himself
so
a heck of a weekend.
In that scenario, that would benefit. If you get 50th place, but you're 95% of the winner, kind of like a cane.
And that's where it's at East Coast, right?
Bring you back down.
Yep. Instead of earning 95 points in 50th place, and that's an extreme. I say extreme. Clay's like Clay's probably remembering the 2021 gap grind was blah blah blah. But it, in a high shootout type match where you have either a lot of talent or a lot of guys that finish, within 5 percentage points of the winner, it's now going to spread those guys out, right?
So how does it work for ties? So like, let's say that 3 people tie for second place. Is it going to be on the tiebreaker? So the next person is actually getting third place points? Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, 100% it's the tiebreaker. And actually, it was at the gap grind this year that Cale Harmon pointed that out. He's like, do you realize how much weight is now on the skill stage tiebreaker? Because if you don't go fast enough or drop a point or something like that, like, you're losing points. Like, I mean, that's a missed impact or a couple seconds there is real points, because if you lose that tiebreaker.
For sure. But I'm still going to go my 88.9 seconds as slow as possible and try to get those 10.
Yep. The impacts count more, don't they?
They do.
Yes. Awesome.
Hey,
Thank you for that.
you can. I know you guys had a team kind of discuss this change and weigh a bunch of scenarios out. But was there any talk of like, say once a guy gets to 300, if he wins that fourth match, like every match after 3 wins, getting like 101 points or something to separate him?
Yeah, we had that conversation. Actually, we could go good prompt then, I guess, for that podcast that we recorded with the scoring committee. But we talked about that. That was a scenario. And I don't honestly recall why we called that like the bonus point, like the winning bonus points, whatever, post 300. But I don't recall why that wasn't suggested, maybe as part of the rule change. But yeah, it was discussed. And actually, we're going to do another podcast coming up here. We'll bring Matt Sabak on, who was the chair of that scoring committee, and we can talk about some of those things and probably do it kind of mid-season, see how things are kind of playing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're a stud to get to 300, but then you got Jeff with 7 wins last year, and he goes in with the same 300. I mean, he could potentially go in with 304, right? That gives him some leeway on that last match of the year to totally not throw his entire season away.
What is it that you always say now, Clay? You just got to have a weekend?
You just got to have a weekend.
Yeah, one of them. I mean, that assumes that you come in with 300 points, which easier for some than others.
I remember you could pull a Ben and just beat the field by 10 points at the finale. That works too.
Yeah, 2024.
It's an undefeated strategy. No, I don't know why I haven't tried it more often.
All right. Appreciate the conversation on that, guys. We're gonna go to a segment, talk about impact scoring, and this is with Megan Edged.
My name is Megan Edged. I am the operations coordinator at the Precision Rifle Series. I've been with the PRS about 2 years now. And within that role, I handle a lot of technical emails that come in. People are having issues with the website, navigating it, anything from like a shooter can't find their score, or match directors having a couple issues uploading scores. That can, be for a number of reasons. And also just navigating the website. It's kind of a beast, and it's a little bit confusing if you're not familiar with it to navigate and find kind of what you're looking for.
That's awesome, Megan. So tell us a little bit about what some of the changes are this year.
Yeah, so super exciting. So Ken, you and I and the PRS team, we are always trying to think of ways and things that we can do to just elevate the experience for our community, shooters, match directors, our partners, everybody. And one of those ways that we are going to do that this year is our partnership with Impact Scoring. And within that partnership, it's really going to elevate the experience all around the precision rifle scene. And a big part of that is our website. We're going to do a full revamp of the website. It's going to be completely seamless and work with inside the Impact Scoring app. There is going to be a specific community for PRS specifically. And that is just, like I said, going to make everything so seamless, from anything that shooters are looking for, match directors, anybody from the outside looking in who may be interested. It's going to be a lot more welcoming and information focused. With any huge transition or project like this, there's going to be a few bumps in the road, some things that we're not going to get 100% right the first time around, and that's okay. That's how you grow. And so we just ask our community to kind of be a little patient with us, and we'll get it right. We will.
Excellent. Thanks for reporting on that, Megan. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks.
Cool. Let's talk to Matt Steiner about some rule updates.
Hey, Ken, first one that we got, and the only actual competitive rule that came up in the committee this year was coaching on the clock. So after a lot of deliberation with committee, an open forum discussion, we came up with a solution, and that solution is going to be we're going to allow coaching on the clock to continue in its current fashion in the regional series. If you are running practice score or a paper scoring, it is the traditional shoot 2 matches or less, honor system, and, buddies in your squad can help out. Raise your hand at the safety brief. Pretty archaic way. However, we did come up with another option for all those match directors out there using impact scoring. In impact, when you register for that regional one-day match, right around the categories classification section of the registration form, there's going to be a coach on the clock checkbox. If you check that box, that will make you eligible for coaching on the clock. What does coaching on the clock look like for you? It means that anybody in your squad can give you a hand at any time during the day. It can mean a match director can help squad you into a better location where you're going to get better fundamental coaching, or around shooters that might be able to help you a little bit more. It also means that your regional points, your match will not count for regional points, and you will not be eligible to earn placement trophies in the match. If a match director decides to give out a trophy or an award for the best coach on the clock guy, that is solely up to that match director. It is not going to be a requirement or anything along those lines. What it's going to look like for the shooter during the match is when you show up on the stage. Currently on impact scoring, everybody's tablet screens are white. You toggle impact, not an impact, and you go through and then you hit approve. So the way we looked at it is we're going to have the scoring screen denoted a specific color so that it catches whoever has the tablet's eye. If it shows up and all of a sudden my screen's red or it's blue or black or whatever the color is that is the most revealing in the sunlight options. I know we talked to Bill about different options for that. He's testing some different options. And so whatever that color is, it's still to be determined, but that will be the indicator to whoever's the RO on the stage, and they can say, hey, this shooter gets coaching. So instead of waiting to your third or fourth stage and, you're kind of timid and you're afraid to ask guys for help or whatever, everyone's going to know first stage who gets the coaching, who doesn't. So, and it's even more a reason why all of our match directors need to start moving over to impact scoring. It's just another option to help our newer shooters. And the one thing I think I left out of this, it's pretty important, is it's no longer based, if you use the impact method, on the number of matches you've shot. We can all shoot coach on the clock. Our scores just wouldn't count for regional points. We wouldn't be eligible for placement. And maybe it's a fun match for us. So anybody that struggles, ideally this was thought of for those mid-pack shooters that haven't shown a lot of growth over some time, that would like to get a little bit better, that use the 1 days as coaching and practice time. So I think this is a really good option. It doesn't change much. It makes everything easier for the match directors.
So let's roll into what some of the other updates are and talk about just, the feedback that we get.
So back when 2025 started, the input, the messages, the notes that we receive from shooters, match directors, and competitors alike, they just keep piling up. Everyone's got something on their mind, rules, clarifications. They don't understand what this rule means. They need better understanding of that. Does my rifle meet this qualification? Does it not? So as we compile all that information, we at the end of the year go back through and we look at any of the rules that we have that are existing and see what kind of updates we need to make on those. So every year we make several of these. These rules don't require a match direct or a committee approval because all they're doing is clarifying. We're not changing the meaning. We're not changing how it affects a match being run. So I think it's pretty easygoing, and it's all meant to just benefit the shooters and the match directors and make everybody's life a little bit easier. So I'm going to roll through a couple of the big ones that we had. Rule 1.3.6, ADs and NDs. We added 3 options to this. If you're a rev out moving forward in 26, that's going to be a match DQ, because in a lot of ranges, that round leaves the property and cause some issues. Shots impacting within 100 yards of the firing line. That's clearly negligent, and I've seen it happen at several matches. Nobody gets a DQ about it. You have to know where your rounds are going. And finally, shooting a prop. I've had this rule in place at our range at MKM Precision now for 5 years, and any shooter that actually shoots a prop, we actually DQ him for the match because it's a negligent discharge. Another update we made this year was international category, because Canada has moved into part of our regular Pro Series and even regional series, hosting both matches, and they just cross the border freely as freely as they can. We've removed Canada as one of the international clubs that can receive international trophies because they're part of our North American series here. This one was on Ken a little bit, the reshoots, and when reshoots happen. So if you get a partial reshoot, it's no longer going to be, start just in a position. It's going to be start in a position with a chamber closed, start in position. On the beep, you're going to close your chamber, refire a shot that does not count, and then move through the sequence of the rest. That way we're able to maximize the efficiency of the time, and it simulates how the stage would have gone otherwise, the reshoot was called for. This one's a pretty big one. The next one I'm going to bring up, it raised a lot of questions, but these are some clerical topics that come in. Matches, 2-day pro matches, 100 days prior. So they only have a 100-day window now to open matches, not 110, not 120, not 150. Can't open up a Black Friday sale. So ideally, this is to make the playing field fair for every MD out there. And these rules will take place, and these updates will take place as soon as the rule book is published. We already talked about the coaching on the clock. Let's see, what else do we got going on over here? Regional series. This was a big one that garnered some conversation in the committee as well. And it's just a clarification on how a regional shooter can make the Pro Series finale. And for whatever reason, I thought it was worded pretty well. George Gardner thought it was worded pretty well, but we had to update it, and we added basically just the word only to the rule set. So real quick, the top 3 shooters from each PRS regional series open division only season standing will receive a slot in the finale. If the top 3 shooters have already qualified via the Pro Series, the first 3 non-qualified open shooters will earn those bids. So we had lots of messages this year. Hey, I won, Sportsman. I won Tactical. I won Production. In my region, does that get me a free bid to the finale? No, it doesn't. It's only for our open shooters. So just wanted to clarify that a little bit more. 10.2, this is kind of a new one. We adopted this back in the summer, and it's just a rule submission process. In the past, we've just kind of thrown stuff against the wall, see what sticks. What we're asking all match directors, shooters to do is to follow the format suggested, which is if you're a shooter, reach out to your match directors, call your regional director. Those guys are listed on PRS website. They have emails, they have phone numbers. You probably know most of them or shoot with them. Get your ideas to them. But what we're looking for is you to share us the current rule that you want to change, any updates or how you believe that rule should be rewritten. And we need to see some rationale. What data do you have that supports the need for a change? What problem are we fixing? And then submit those no more than 120 days before the finale, which is going to put us probably right around August 1st every year. Your regional directors can start submitting those rules. We'll process through them and move through the process, hopefully a lot quicker next year than we did this year. We also added that the PRS director, regional directors, and match directors can submit rules, rule changes without restrictions at any time during the season in the event that it affects shooter safety. So if we see something that's new that we haven't seen before that affects that, hey, send it out to us. We'll get it updated in the rule book. It's not going to require a committee vote because it's safety related. We'll more than likely take it to the committee so they're all aware of it. And the other thing that we added to this is the PRS directors can update current rules to provide better understanding, which is exactly what we're doing right here. We're taking existing rules that need a little bit of clarification, and during the course of the year, if we get these questions, maybe we can update them, prevent this from dragging on throughout the rule process period at the end of the shooting season. So the committee will never just take a rule that bases on how the sports run, how the stages are shot, stuff that would affect the shooter's way of shooting a course of fire. That's always going to still roll through the committee. All right. Last thing that we added in there, actually, we got two more things real quick. In the appendix, we've never had a rule for this, and this is a really big one for Ken. All regional matches, the trophies, we're going to talk trophies really quick. All regional matches are encouraged to have trophies for each division and category represented in a match. They are not required, but they are encouraged. All Pro Series matches, they're required to have trophies for, I'm not going to go through it all the open, all the TAC, all your categories, Mill, Leo, amateur, all your classes. If you're not familiar with this, go to Appendix 2 in the rules section, take a peek at it, and see what you need to have for your matches. Here's the biggest piece of this. We've asked match directors across the country, across the globe. Trophy design is at your discretion all the time. You design basically what you want. However, we have asked that any machined bullet-shaped trophies are reserved only for the PRS Pro Series Championship. So if you're that guy that's going out there and you're making those milled 22 shells for your one-day match, or you're making a, milled centerfire round, getting them coated, getting them engraved, they're pretty sweet trophies. I know they are. But if you're making those, you're going to be asked to stop. And if you're not, there probably will have to follow through the disciplinary process of PRS. All right. So last thing I have, along the lines with the 100-day, there's going to be a 90-day prior to any regional finale. Shooters cannot change their region. Now, this isn't an update. This has actually been a rule that's been in place now for over a year. Rimfire implemented it in 2024, and it's worked very, very well. It will help with the website, keeping it moving as quickly as possible. But if you need to move your region, you can do that at any time during the year currently. But if you need to move it after the 90 days prior to your finale, you have to get approval from myself. All right. And once the programs are written in Impact, that's going to be something that you click on it, change your region, and it's going to ping me with an email. I can go in, I can reach out to you personally and find out why we need to move. Is it permanent? Is it temporary? Is it work related? Is it a medical thing? And we can have that discussion there. So, but again, we're looking through a lot of the rules in the website, in the rule book, to figure out which ones the actual website can manage. And that way it'll make it a lot easier on a lot of us. So that's the updates right there in a nutshell, Ken. I know it's a little long-winded, but hopefully guys have a understanding after this of what those are.
Appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for coming on tonight.
No problem, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about this year's championship. So, Clay, let's hear from you first. I love having these types of what if conversations, but from what you saw in the 2025 season years prior, like who do you think this year? And I hope you can say me. Like you should be in a conversation every year, right?
I'd sure like to be, but doing the same thing last year that I'm going to do this year. I'm doing it for fun. If I get the points, I get the points. If I don't, I don't. With a kid coming, shooting is probably going to be a little bit less frequent, so we'll just kind of have to see where things land. But I think the favorites this year, it's hard to really pick a favorite just because of where the venue is and how tight I think it's going to be. With the hybrid scoring, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of difference between squad one. I think the scores are going to be very similar now, just like they were last year. It's going to be very, very tight at the top. But the style of match that it is, the location, it's going to be really hard to count out guys like, Ben Gossett, Jeff Gary, Levi Wilson, Matt Caruso, Francis, Ryan Beck. I mean, I can just go down the list. But, those guys are obviously very, very, very good at that style of match. But you can't sleep on a guy like Morgan. He wins everywhere. Right. Bushman wins everywhere. Orgain wins everywhere. So, I mean, it's just going to be one of those things you're gonna have to have it break your way that weekend, because it's going to be tight enough that there's no wiggle room. You're just going to have a weekend.
Right, and we're talking about Twisted Barrel here, Arkansas, and it's typically, I guess I would call it a shootout style match where you got to be damn near perfect, right?
Got to be pretty perfect and hope that you catch a break, or hope that the breaks don't go against you.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, as far as who comes out on top, you probably look at any of those one numbers there in the top 15 from last year. I mean,
well, I want to point out
what Bushman's looking out of. You could always put money on him, and Clay, if he wants to be a father or not, he's probably worth putting money on too. Then Jeff Geary with 7 wins last year. I'm sure with his performance at the finale, he's really hungry to get back out and prove his point. So Jeff, Ben,
I mean,
any of them really.
Jeff and Morgan, they've both been shooting a bunch already, this year. I mean, Morgan's shooting club matches right at the finale finishes. He's out shooting club matches. Like, man, take a break, have an off season. I haven't even looked at a rifle since the finale, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for me not to count out like the AMU guys. Just they've been dominant, honestly, for the last couple seasons here and taking home a lot of bullets, including 2 golden ones. I'd put Kale and Ben in there, right? Looking at top 25 from last year and where things landed. And you mentioned most of the names, right? Like this could be like a Ken Sinoski type of year and type of match too. Like, and he shoots well in all types of conditions or ranges. But a couple surprising ones on there. I mean, we had 2 guys in the top 20 that were international. You had Anthony Cowley and Joseph Six. Like those guys could shoot, depending on how much fire they got. I want to give a shout out to 13th and 14th were 2 guys from Wisconsin, Joshua Lickini and Sam Gearing. Sam's somebody that he's very analytical, somebody that not a lot of people know, right? And if you shoot it in the upper Midwest here, like, he gets around a lot, shoots real well, but he could, there could be some surprises, just like this year we had Gage Caples. I think he surprised everybody that he finished 9th in the series, as a junior with what do you call it, Josh? Like the kid's got a better beard than
Dude, the dude's 15 years younger than me and he looks 15 years older. It's just like, what is this thing?
Jet black beard.
So yeah, that's ironic. But Sam Gearing too. I was talking to him not too long ago. It sounded like he was going to maybe push a little harder for nationals too. He's kind of like you said, he's a silent dude that you don't know he's there until he's holding the trophy. It's like he's a solid shooter. He just doesn't go to a lot of events, and I think he said he's going to try and hit a few more this year. So probably see his name some more.
Yeah, and typical past years, he's one of those guys that just is hardcore hunting. Enjoys shooting, but he's hardcore hunting. So if he's got a tag, that trumps anything. He could have 300 points, and if he had a tag for somewhere that weekend, other than whitetail, he's going.
Well, I mean, didn't you have
Joe
to
Keelan
convince him to even shoot 25 for now?
Yeah, it took convincing. Yes. Yeah, Joe
Keelan at the finale, wanted to get on Team USA, and it looks like he'll probably make it ananyway. But he ditched the finale to go to Africa and go hunting. Just no hesitation.
There's a lot of guys like that, man. And I being in Wisconsin, our hunting season's a little different here. So I wish that I had that same sort of drive. Like, I talked to like guys like Brady Allenson or Rusty Ulmer, those guys out west that hunt all the time. And like, I wish I had that nearby. If I did too, I'd probably make that a bigger priority. But Yeah, it should be interesting. It should be a fun year. I think we'll see a lot of the same guys, in the top 10, top 15, like you mentioned. Any defending champions, do you think we'll see another repeat Golden Bullet winner? I mean, whether it be Morgan or somebody else that's won one?
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, several of the guys that I said are people that already have one. So, I mean, really, if you got half of squad one guys that already have a bullet, you got a pretty good chance at someone stacking another one.
Yep. Who do you guys think is going to be the first to 300 this year?
Can I pick two?
At the same time?
Yeah.
I
Or we
love
can
this.
draft it,
I love this. We got to get prop betting on some of these things, right? Like, because do you agree with Clay or not? But I most likely agree. Let's hear it. Two of them.
I think it's Jeff Gary Morgan between the matches that they're signed up for already. Just the quantity and how good they are. It's kind of hard to bet against either one of them.
Okay, Josh, who do you think, man?
That was the two names I was going to say.
I'll go one further. I'll be surprised if one of them doesn't have a 300 before I shoot a match.
Wow. I mean, are you planning on shooting this year?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm
okay.
Hopefully Box Canyon. The due date's like 2 days after, so we'll see.
Oh my gosh.
It's only 3 hours away. So we'll see.
This is like, was it Dave Preston, the 2019 finale? You won the finale that year, right? And the Golden Bullet. And I think Preston went up there. He was in top 5, top 10 somewhere. And I think he got his trophy, and then he left because his wife was in labor. Don't do that though.
I won't do that. But if it's an option, doctor says it's going to be wild, then
Sure.
It's one of my favorite ones. Got to go.
All right, let's. What were you gonna say, Josh?
You kind of mentioned the AMU guys and just the guys in the South in general coming out strong early. I think a lot of that is too, like up here, our regional series at least, you shoot March to October.
Mm-hmm.
It gets cold up here, cold enough that guys aren't putting on matches. And those guys in the South, they're like you said, Clay, like guys are shooting regional matches right after the national finale. So they're year round shooting. I mean, granted, we got guys up here practicing, but that practicing is not the same as like legit match scenarios. And just the more reps and more matches those guys are shooting, I think there's something to be said about that. The guys in the South that can shoot matches year round, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a huge gap in practice and match. I think it's Steph Curry that he wants to make 100 threes in a row before he leaves the gym each day.
100?
What's the most he's ever made in a match? Is it 10, 9, something like that? Like, it's a gigantic difference, It's the same thing here. You can sit there and clean the PRS barricade every single time until you get on the clock. So, I mean, so it's definitely, I would say, an advantage for guys that don't have to deal with as much cold. I mean, we were in short sleeves, and on Christmas Day, it was like 80 degrees.
Oh my God. What planet is that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Who historically starts stronger? I mean, are we talking it's the Southern shooters then, right? Like, we're probably not going to see somebody from the North win a match until a few matches in, or later in the year. Is that what we're talking about here?
I mean, they might, but I think, some of the just quote unquote Northern guys, I think they're going to make more mental mistakes early, getting back used to that pressure on the clock and the things you're supposed to do in a match that are repetitive, like you haven't done for 3 months. So you're going to make a mistake. Or,
Sure. One of the questions I had here, who tends to peak later, right? Like, and an example that comes to my mind, like peaking at the end of the season, like Cale Harmon, 2023. I think he won 3 matches in a row, and then he won the finale.
No. He won 2 matches in a row at the finale.
Yeah. Okay. Memory does not serve me correct, but I mean, do we think? I mean, Morgan kind of was that way this year, right? Like, he got his qualifier this year, 2025 season, I guess. His qualifier was his last match of the year, wasn't it?
I think he won Impact, which was a qualifier.
you're right.
But he got his 300 the last match of the year in
Right.
California.
Yep, in
So,
California.
I was there for that abuse. The authorities are still looking for him for what he did to us.
Yep. Anybody you guys have in mind there? Like would it be a northern shooter? Would be like peaking later? Or at that point, season's so long, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to pick a guy like Organ. I think he's taking himself a pretty good break. And he's going to shoot the couple Team USA qualifiers, my match, and then Mississippi. And I think he's going to take a bit of a break. So I think the last month and a half of the season, I think he'll probably hit it pretty hard. So it wouldn't surprise me. He may just win his first 3 and have a 300. But if he doesn't, I will be very surprised if he didn't get a couple out of the last 3 or 4 matches of the season.
Mm-hmm. Who wasn't on the top 25 last year? That I think could be sort of that come from behind guy, or the dark horse, or whatever you want to call him, right? Like Nick Adarzi. Like, depending on if he wants to come out and shoot this,
if he goes to a match, he's going to do just fine.
Exactly. It was actually really funny. He got an invite via the regional series this last year. I think he shot one Pro Series match. I think he won that match. And then just shot a bunch of regional stuff, and then got an invite. And he called me. He's like, "Hey, boss man, like, why did I get an invite to the finale?" I'm like, "Surprisingly, you were top 3 in your region, so you get an invite." And he's like, "Cool, I'll be there." And I was hoping to see him at the podium from squad 15, like that. I thought it was going to be cool, but
I mean, he was up there for quite a while. I mean,
it was,
it looked like he hadn't taken any time off looking at the scoreboard.
Right.
So,
all right, let's question marks, shooters that I don't know, might get injured or make some decisions in the season, do some weird things,
Well, I mean, Jeff, let's see if he hobbles any more matches. Who knows if he'll use the same individual item at 2 matches in a row this year. It's unreal that guy wins while changing something in every single match. I don't know how he does it.
Right. He had won, I think he won 5 in a row, and then had his knee scoped, right?
Yeah, what a goober, getting off the table while he's on a heater. What an absolute goober.
And then it actually came back, and he finished like 30th at his first match or something, right? And it was like, oh no, like they stole his mojo while he was in there.
Like I thought, like, okay, like he got off the table, that's why he got beat. And then I see him on the end of day 1, and the guy can just barely walk. I'm like, why are you here, man? Like, that knee still doesn't work.
Oh man.
But I think he only dropped like 1 or 2 points on day 2 though, so I was like,
he's still dangerous.
Still dangerous.
Yeah. All right, with that, let's talk about first match of the season, 2026 Pro Series season here. Josh, you wanna give us an introduction here to our guest and all that?
Yeah. Well, let's welcome Jake. I'll let him introduce himself. But match director of Gravestone Precision, presented by Silencer Co. Jake, I know it's your second year. I shot your match there last year. Really enjoyed the match. Unfortunately, I can't make it this year due to SHOT Show being the following week. But I'd love to know, what are you thinking for the match? You got a qualifier this year, and you got a sold out match. It looked like 228 shooters. Pretty big match compared. I mean, like, that's like K&M numbers there. So, just maybe walk us through what you're seeing and feeling, thinking this year, type of thing.
Yeah. So, we're honored to host the first match of the season. You mentioned that it's a weekend before SHOT Show. That does have some impact on some of the people that were able to come, or sponsors that are able to come out and help us. But we're working through that. But yeah, we're very fortunate to have Silencer Co. They've been an integral part in our matches since day 1. We're very, very honored and excited to keep working with Chase and Ryan and all the guys at Silencer Co. Super great company. I think the world of them. So they've been I couldn't ask for a better company as far as a title sponsor. Other key sponsors that we had coming in big were, Vortex, MDT, Manners, Loophole. So we got quite a few different gold sponsors, which we're fortunate to get that. But as far as the match goes itself, with it being a qualifier, we did elect to trim out 15 seconds and go to a minute 45 stages to try and stay more in line with some of the other pro matches. I will tell you that the Course of Fire is written to get not all shots off accurately. It's going to be pushing the boundaries on time limit, so you can either pick your poison if you're going to get, 9 good shots off, or try and go for shots 10 or 11 or even 12 if it's a 12-round stage. So I think there's 2 12-round stages, an 11 round, and then most of them are 10. There's one stage that's a combined skill stage that's going to be a 60-second stage. That way we can get everybody traversed back from the stage 19 back to 1.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as target sizes, times, and all that, everything I tried to even out as much as I could. Last year we heard some perceptions that it was, for those that are familiar with our match, you have kind of the straightaway road and then you have the semicircle where you're stuck up on the hill. And I heard a couple complaints that the match seemed more hard on the hill than it did the straightaway road, depending on where you started or conditions. The wind was also not favorable last year. This year we're expecting 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. So I'm actually glad that it's not going to be a super windy match. That way it'll keep it a little bit more even keel. People that can think through things on the clock are going to do well.
Right on.
I will say, though, that it's not ever, my goal here is not to have the easiest match, it's to have one of the best matches, and for people to love coming out here to shoot in a challenging Course of Fire and truly get better. So we're not ever going to be known as a points match, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So challenging to the shooter, then, what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
And with the hybrid scoring system, I'm actually very, very happy that went through. I think it kind of dissuades some of the easier matches, and I'm kind of interested to see how the points shake out after the season with the hybrid.
So with hybrid scoring and 228 shooters, with a pretty stacked field of good competitors, I mean, we actually might see some complaining from this, right? Like, you're going to have guys that, might finish within a few impacts of the winner, but they're going to, they're going to earn less points than they normally would have, right?
Yep. However, with the bigger the match,
might get more.
Yeah.
What's that?
The bigger
What's
the
that, Clay?
match, the less impact it has on, from second place to third place. It's going to be a lot less of a step down versus a 80-person or 100-person match.
True. Yeah, if you got a whole field of stacked, competitors, I mean, really, really good guys or whatever, and you happen to, but the more you have, the less points you lose per placement. I think that's the point you were trying to make, Clay.
Yeah, you could lose by 2 or 3 instead of getting your 97 or 8. Now you're getting 90.5, 99. So
sure. Could be more.
It'll be interesting.
I
love it.
There's going to be a lot of people mathing after the fact, right?
I like that it's something new and fresh and different than, I know that we've done it a long time ago, but it's a different game that we're playing now than it was back then. So I'm actually glad that we're doing something new and progressing on with it.
What kind of shooter does your match favor then? Is it somebody who's like really quick, like positional guy, or is it that troop line guy that my best example is Clay, right? Where you love shooting long and slow and watching everything and doing all that. Like, what kind of shooters your match favor there, Jake?
In my opinion, it's going to favor somebody who's going to move a little bit quicker, and you're going to be pressed on time limits. And if you take your time, and we'll have some prone stuff that runs out long range with, big smalls and stuff like that. I love big smalls. That's big small prones. Clay, your match is one of my favorite matches to go to. So I'll try to emulate that as much as we could, bring in some more prone stuff than what we had last year. But it's still going to be a pretty heavily positional match. And so whoever can build positions quickly and shoot slow is going to do well. Our wind is not an easy wind to shoot in. It's going to require watching conditions and and stepping up a bracket whenever the terrain requires it.
How
Right
much did getting the qualifier this year weigh on like your course of fire? Like, do you think it's drastically different than last year or more challenging, or
I think
and then was it
cutting out 15 seconds directly is going to address, it being a qualifier match in itself. Target sizes are going to be a somewhat smaller than last year, but the wind forecast was also, a quarter of the wind than what we had last year. So last year, and I'm not a super huge proponent of going and changing your course of fire 3 days ahead just because the wind is calling for 20 mile an hour. But at the same time, last year we had forecast well in advance that we're going to have heavy wind out of the south on Saturday and heavy wind out of the north on Sunday. So we had basically all 4 seasons wrapped up in one weekend. I remember it was
It was
90
hot.
degrees.
Last year was hot, wasn't it? Yeah.
On Saturday, it was in
And
the
then cold.
90s. And then Sunday, it was in the 30s with 20 mile an hour wind out of the north. So huge change in temperature and conditions.
I bet that caught a lot of people off guard from a clothing perspective.
That's what I was thinking.
Sure. And even this weekend, I mean, our low Saturday morning is, I think, 30, and it's supposed to get up in the mid 60s, but people are going to be forced to layer.
Sure. But you can kind of plan for that too. And if it's not super heavy wind, then like you can manage comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to throw this out there. Let's talk about some contenders this weekend, right? And it could be anybody. You have 228 shooters that are coming here. A ton of international folk too, which is awesome to see. You have the World Championship coming up there this fall. I guess let's talk about that real quick. Before we talk about who could possibly win this match, but World Championship, how much are you going to change? And I know you're going to change the course fire and stuff like that, give it a fresh look. It's a World Championship match. But what's your strategy different for the World Championship than, say, this weekend?
One thing that I want to make sure. One thing I want to make sure.
Are there things that you are like you purposely didn't do this weekend because you're reserving it for that weekend?
There are specifically 2 stages that I did not put in the course of fire everything that I could throw at it because I want to hold it back for the world match. There's a couple other stages that are going to change altogether, as well as a couple new firing lines that we're going to cut out just for the worlds. So I don't want people to come here in January and then shoot the same match again in September. So I feel that's doing a disservice to the sport by having the same thing just regurgitated a half year later. And so I really want to have everything shaken up and changed to where it's a new, fresh look on it.
Awesome. When do you start preparing for the Worlds? I mean, as soon as you're done with this match, you create new fire lines, doing all that?
Yeah, I'm actually, next week we have a dirt company coming up to start work on our pavilion. So we're building a 60 by 100 pavilion. I elected to wait till after our match so it wouldn't be under construction during the match. So literally next week we're starting dirt work.
Dang. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's talk about the match this weekend. Who do we think is going to win this? Like I have some pro shooters that I think in mind based on what you're telling me, that it's going to require maybe a little faster shooting, positional building, that type of thing. Like it's like, well, I mean the 2 guys that seem to be crushing the skill stage and speed and time and impacts, like Keith Rudisill and Matt Caruso have been pretty dominant along those lines the last couple years, especially since we changed the skill stage. Those guys have been good. Clay, you got anybody in mind?
I mean, it's hard to bet it. If you got to move fast, I don't know anybody that moves faster than Francis does. That guy's really, really quick, and he can shoot in anything. So it's going to be really hard to bet against him. Jeff obviously can do it, in any condition.
Sure.
Morgan, is Morgan not signed up?
No, Morgan's sister's getting married, so he's officiating her wedding. So everybody that's shooting here is lucky that Morgan won't be here.
I was gonna say home range. The guy likes to show up and hand cash on Friday. I figured he was gonna pull that maneuver, but if I had to pick one, I think I'm probably picking Francis. And then I'm going Jeff as my number 2, just because Jeff could be changing calibers right now. He may change again tomorrow, and then a new chassis on Friday, and he'll still crush it. But just for the consistency factor, I think I'm gonna roll with Francis on this one.
That's a great bet. Josh.
You don't have 3 people that I think will be in the top 5. I'll have 3 highlighted.
Who do you think? You got to say him.
Chris Katalik, he's going to be in it.
He'll be in top 5. I guarantee it. Win it?
Don't sleep on Shane Ward and Caleb William. They're out here quite a bit shooting.
Yeah.
Shane's out here. Hell, he shoots out here more than I am, I think.
Yeah. Shane Ward. And
Caleb's due. Caleb's due to get him a W.
That's true.
Yeah, he is.
That's true. Caleb's pretty local to you?
Yes. Yeah, he's out here quite a bit.
Okay.
So if I'm not going to go out and say one winner that I think is going to do it, but you got a couple in here that definitely can. You got a couple of them in here that are not highlighted that typically shoot well out here. Katalik being one of them.
Come on, you watched me make picks. You gotta make a pick here.
Yeah, you got to.
That way we can both get fried online.
The only guarantee to that is I'm wrong.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of this show. There's people listening right now like, come on, say it, Jake. Say it, Jake. Oh, he's an idiot.
I mean, you got like Chad Estes and Kate Estes. They've come a long way last year too.
Yep.
You got Dale Rhodes. Dale can come in and do this if he wanted.
He could. He's semi-local, right? He's just up north from you.
You know who my number 1 pick, though? If I'm going to go out on a limb and say a name, and I'm going to be happy as there you go.
Am I right?
Yep.
Say it.
Gage. I think Gage has it in him to do it.
For sure. He came really close multiple times last year.
That kid can shoot fast. He is smart. He can process on the clock. He has what it takes to do it. He just got to come and do it.
That'd be cool.
Any of the guys that I mentioned.
25, the new cutoff for junior. I see junior class over there. Is he still junior? There's no way.
He's got one
more. I rented a car last week.
Oh, Josh, who are you thinking, bud? Who do you think's going to win this match?
Man, I got 15 names wrote down. Well, I mean, really, look at your last season's national winners or top 20 list, and 80% of them are at this match. So it makes it tough. But I mean, just throwing a few names out there: Levi, Chris, Vitalik, Dale Rhodes. I mean, Ted Clark shoots well too.
He signed up. He goes against everything we just talked about, right? He's a northern shooter, right? Like maybe he kind of has. Maybe he's knocked the rust off. Who knows? Comes down, gets a W.
He's consistent though. You know, he doesn't really do the mental mistakes. He's a real good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Rudisil, Anthony Colley, Rusty Olmer's in there. I mean, you're the guy that won it last year, Corson Piper, is there.
Yep.
Geary.
I don't think Corson's got a back-to-back inning. We'll see. I'd be happy for him if he did.
He had 300 points last year.
It's hard to win a match. It's real hard to win at the same place twice. Just the odds are not great.
So I've never won a match. Won a match of any significance, I'll say. Clay, from a Pro Series standpoint, are there expectations coming back into a match, right, that you won the year before?
I think so. I remember in 2020 when the finale was at Justin's, I think I had won the match there, and me and Morgan were 299, 9, and 300, and he said, if you win the Golden Bullet here, it doesn't count, because like that was like the home range, and you go to a place like South Dakota that Orgain wins, kind of the expectation is he's probably going to do it again. So I think there is some of that expectation, whether it gets set or not is something different, but if you get in the right circle, you'll hear, people say what their expectations are. And I think that like guys that are winning, if you don't, it's just kind of a lose-lose. Either you do it and you didn't do anything fancy, or you don't and you got whooped. So
exactly.
maybe that's maybe Morgan planned his sister's wedding date specifically for this. It's my home range.
Day.
I don't want to shoot there.
It's the only day you can officiate. Yep. So Josh,
I do think Morgan was signed up that we would all be agreeing on a favorite.
I probably right, 100%. Josh, who do you got any final votes? Top shooter.
If I have to pick,
yep.
I can't pick one.
You got to pick one. Jake tried to do this shit too. No way.
So diplomatic over here.
Hey, Clay got two.
But at least I said them. Boldly said them.
You did. You committed to Francis, right?
Caruso?
Jake, Matt Caruso.
Francis? Or I'm going to throw Ryan Beck out there.
Sure.
I didn't even know Beck was going.
Yeah, Ryan Beck signed up.
Yeah.
My gosh, there's a lot of really good guys going.
Seriously, yeah. Ryan Beck is there. Yeah. So all right. So Jake, you're going with Gage Caples. I love that bet.
I'm gonna go Gage.
You're gonna go Gage. Okay. And Clay, you're going with Francis.
I'm going with Francis.
Josh, final answer.
I'll go Caruso. Yeah.
You're going Matt Caruso?
Sure.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna say Keith Rudisil. I don't know. It's been a year. It's probably been a year and a half.
Texans getting picked. I'm the oddball over here.
Yeah, with Michigan. You know who? And I'm gonna throw out another person. I think top 5 would be awesome to see. Would be Hunter Zwires. That kid just can flat out shoot. He actually missed most of not 25 but 24. He was in a car accident. He was doing really well, and then car accident really set him back. But I think he's going to be somebody who's going for it. I mean, he's coming down from Michigan too. Like, man, I think he's going to surprise some people. So
there's another Hunter there that's worth talking about too.
I saw that.
Hunter
Neal, sure, junior shooter too. Yeah, maybe 1-2 juniors. Man, so looking at suppressors signed up, this makes me happy. This makes Chase Glenn and Ryan Killian from Silencer Co. happy. We have 75 shooters shooting suppressed. 228.
That's a match in itself.
Seriously. This is what it's all about. And Jake, you got a couple suppressor squads, don't you?
Yeah. So I was trying to put as many suppressor squads as we could really justify using. Talking to a couple people on there that wanted to shoot with buddies instead of suppressor only. So I elected to just go with 3, but to start.
I mean, that is, if you talk to Chase Glenn from Silencer Co. and the whole, the bounty we're putting into the suppressor category for the winner of the series winners. I mean, the top 5 this next year. I would not be surprised if the top suppressor shooter gets $10,000 at the finale, which means we're going to have to raise the price on the Gold Bowl winner because that can't be outdone, right?
I heard since it's the 15th season, you were adding an extra 15.
Extra 15.
Yeah.
We need a couple more sponsors to kick in this year, guys. But that's the whole goal. If you talk to Chase and Ryan, like it's, at some point, we're going to have, half a match. That's all suppressors, right? And you can sign up and shoot suppressor, and hopefully it's hearing safe. That's the goal, is that we, technology develops and all this, that you can be in a squad and not have to have your pro, right? And everybody's comfortable, no TBIs or any of the downsides of some of these super effective breaks. So, anywho, let's talk about other divisions. One thing I was pointing out to Clay and Josh before we started recording. Sportsman is the largest division represented. We have 11 shooters this weekend shooting Sportsman. We have 8 in TAC, and we have 9 in production. So it goes Sportsman, production, TAC for numbers. George Gardner shooting a Sportsman rifle this weekend.
I like that.
I do too. I did
He
too.
already sent me a video of his rifle making weight.
Yeah, well, that means you got to double check it when he gets there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Man, if I were to pick somebody here, I like Anthony Waichulis. He's a awesome shooter from up here in Wisconsin. Did really well last year. Had 300 in Sportsman division. But Dan Hare, I'd shoot Sportsman too. Is Dan semi-local to you down there, Jake?
Yeah, he's about 2 hours away. He comes out here quite a bit. He's been in some monthly matches out here. He's chasing more. He kind of went off on NRL stuff, and now with the Sportsman division, coming back to PRS.
He's back. Heck yeah. He's won some pro matches. He could be tough to beat. I don't know. TAC. You guys know TAC shooters pretty well. I mean, we got 3 studs at the top here. What do you think? Heckler, Marriott, or Steiner?
Our Sportsman pick or what?
Well, yeah. I want you to talk. I'm driving conversation. Interrupt me.
Sportsman. I'm going Charles Roberts.
Charles Roberts.
Gascon, Chris Garcia, and I think it's going to be a 2-point gap, but I think Heckler's going to get Steiner down there.
Heckler over Steiner. Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, Sportsman, Anthony, hometown boy. Pretty sure he's running a JE precision barrel too. So
shout out.
Yep. But yeah, going on TAC, I think you got Chad and Steiner tying. I'm just gonna say that, and that'll be a shootout. And
yeah,
Garcia for last one.
It's hard to bet against Chris Garcia. He shoots that thing really well. In fact, he had some really good matches last year where he was up in open territory.
I think he got second in Washington.
Yeah, that's wild. After shooting a gas gun for a couple matches last year, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you break 50 percentile. I couldn't figure it out. Production. A couple names I got highlighted here. Chad Estes, Tyler Beckley, Laurel Aikenhead. I mean, Laurel's been shooting well. She could certainly do it. Chad's shooting the PMR from MPA. Like, yeah, I don't know. Chad's local to you, Jake?
He's down. He shoots more with Prentice.
Okay.
This one's hard for me.
Yeah. Chad or Laurel?
I think I got to go Chad. He won that match last year. Probably still riding pretty good. Using that gun. If we went to, Cameo or something,
Sure.
then I think I might change mine to Laurel. But I think he might have a little bit of an edge at Gravestone.
Yeah. Tyler, I mean, you might talk, it doesn't get any more northern than him. He's coming down from Canada. Could be the dark horse here too, right?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know that name, so I guess that's Tyler Beckley. I wasn't sure who that was, so.
Yep, Tyler and Chase, both international shooters. Like I had mentioned too, you have 15 international shooters signed up, which is just
unreal.
It's crazy awesome. I love seeing this. I mean, we have Czechoslovakia. This is gonna challenge me here, but New Zealand, Canada, obviously.
Looks like about 95% JTAC students in that list.
No joke.
Yeah.
Awesome. Norway, Sweden. Man, it's hard to bet against Anthony Colley. Like, we all know who he is, and his performance out in Idaho at the finale out there, and what he did. Like, he can be a absolute stud shooter, in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legit squad 1 guy, so cannot bet against him.
Tobias Lindgren, he's the gentleman behind the Botnia break. And he's a good shooter from Sweden too. He can. Clay, we shot with him at Viking Trail. Like, he can be pretty good. He can have a moment. And obviously, I got to give a shout out to Brunar Johnson. He's our international director. He's a good shooter. I made all of his ammo, so hopefully that's not an excuse for him. So, junior shooters, I think, are we all on the Gage Caples train here?
We are all on the Gage Caples train.
I've got to be.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good shooters in there. Like Reagan Stommer was actually top rimfire junior last year in the rimfire series. Hunter Neal, like Josh, you mentioned, right? Could be good. Grace Vaughn's Texas too, isn't she?
She is. Yep.
Yep. So who knows? Top lady, Grace, Kate, Peyton, Laurel, Michelle Kuchar coming down from Wisconsin. I'll throw her in there.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of really good chicks right there.
I think Kate's been too consistent. I've got to go Kate on this one.
Yeah, I tend to agree. She's done. Yeah.
If Grace is on though, she's on. So it's like it depends on the day. Grace could definitely take that one there. Yeah, Kate's been on it too though. I actually I'm gonna pull for Michelle because that's our hometown girl. So
absolutely,
yep.
She's one of those ladies that has a really, really high impact percentage.
Yeah,
just doesn't get all the shots off always.
Yeah,
but she's been speeding up. She's been doing well. So if she can, well, as Jake mentioned, this might not favor her course of fire, but impacts are impacts. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Mill LEO. This is fun. Derek Love back shooting. He started the family. He's been away for a little while. He's had some decent finishes in past years. I think he actually was at the first AG Cup. I think
he was.
That was 6 years ago.
Gosh, yeah, 2019.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to put my money on Sam Trevino. I think he's been shooting a lot at Altus or Ridgeline now. I'm sorry. I think is the new name of that place. Yeah, I think that's where my money's at. You guys have any thoughts here?
Derek Love for best hair. I think I'll go with you though.
The whole match.
Possibly of the whole match. Sam, I think he's, him or Thornton are probably my picks. I'm excited to see what Derek Love does coming back though. He's signed up for several matches.
That's awesome. Seniors. The old guys out there.
There's a lot of good seniors too.
You got a lot of match winners in that list.
Yep. I mean,
I don't want to.
George's PRS number is 70. That's awesome.
The thing that's most shocking to me is how high that is. Like, I can't believe it's not a single digit number.
Right. And I think we mentioned Charles Roberts earlier for Sportsman, right? And
Control F is your friend.
Yep. He is 43.
No kidding.
Yep. Jonathan Berry's up there too.
Yeah. So
I don't think Jonathan signed up, but yeah.
I don't want to root against Rusty, but I got to go with my Oklahoma guy. I got to go with Dale.
Sure. Jake, Josh, you guys got any opinions?
Yeah, I'm the only one voting here.
My picks were Dale or Rusty before, but before we started this, I had Dale and Rusty up there at the top.
Sure.
Flip a quarter, man.
I think Rusty will do it.
Okay. I was surprised to see Jake Scher here. Kansas, Jake Scher, right? He is a senior?
I didn't understand why he's on that list.
Oh, maybe somebody will correct us here. I'm going to go with Dave O from up north here. Man, he's been shooting really well. He shot really well at the finale. We'll see what happens. He's my guy. All right, that's picks for the week. All right, Jake, wish you a good match. I'll see you down there. Appreciate you coming on, man. And you got anything left to say about your match of the weekend?
No, man, I appreciate y'all having me on and look forward to seeing you.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you. We'll see you, Jake.
All right, y'all take care.
See ya.
Okay, let's wrap this thing up. I'll let you guys go first. Josh, you got any final comments here?
Man, nothing slapping me in the face, but just want to wish the shooters the best of luck this weekend. I wish I could join you. Our travel just wasn't going to work this weekend, but I think my experience last year with Jake's match it's an awesome venue, and anybody going that's new to it, I think you're really going to enjoy it. And it's good luck.
Right on.
I'll be watching from the comfort of my couch, not in the potentially 30-degree weather. I've got a season final thought. Might be kind of a hot take.
I love this.
So I think this year, every bullet winner is going to come out of squad 1.
No kidding. Because of the hybrid scoring, you think?
I think part of it from the hybrid scoring, part of it from where the finale venue's at. I think it'll be too hard to separate, kind of like, at K&M.
It's a 10 for 10.
10 for 10. Well, there's 12 or 13 in there, so I don't have to go 10 for 10.
10 for 13, probably. Yeah. 10 for 13. What if I change up squatting, like, just crazy, like?
Then I think that you would be assassinated by a large group of people.
Oh, man, that's funny. What do you think on that take, Josh?
I think you should do random squatting.
I'd love random squatting at regular season matches. I think we ought to bring it back. Random squatting every match until the finale. I mean, that's how we all became friends. We shot with each other.
That's true.
It isn't until you become friends that you start squatting with the same people over and over.
That's true. Yep. I've been random squatted a couple times. Justin's last match, not his last one, but that was the last time I was a couple years ago. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll be down at the match this weekend at Jake's place there. I'm actually going to be working with Bill Tincup and Britt Tincup down there, and we're going to have live broadcast. So,
nice.
Clay, from the comfort of your couch, you can listen to this beautiful silky voice. I'm going to be doing commentary for you, bud.
It better be exciting.
I'm going to try my best, and I'll put this out there. If anybody listening thinks they can do a good job at this, or like, hey, I really want to be a part of the PRS show, like, man, reach out to us. Like, there's no way the three of us are going to do this week in, week out. Like, we're going to be burnt out on this in no time. But if you want to join the show and you want to be part of the conversation, some of the things that we're doing here, go ahead and reach out. Tune in this weekend to Impact Scoring. I think it'll be pretty cool. We're gonna have some downrange cameras and stuff, and we're gonna do the best we can with technology that's currently available to put on a show, right? So that you guys can watch from home. It'll probably happen quite a few times this year. I do wish I was shooting. I hate going to matches without a rifle. It is a awful feeling, especially when it's like, oh, it's a 2-day Pro Series match weekend. Like, you're committed to going, you're doing all the things, you're just not pulling a trigger on anything, and it's an awful feeling. But we'll plan to do this show every week throughout the season. This next week we'll actually take off. I'm going to be at SHOT. Josh, you're going to be at SHOT. Clay, you're going to be making ammo in your basement, probably.
Not allowed basements in Oklahoma. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. In your living room? In the shop. We'll call it that.
In the shop.
I don't know if you want to dip into this box of worms here, but when do you want to maybe talk about betting?
That is something, right? Like, it's unfortunately we didn't have time to really institute this year before the season started. But like, one of the things we want to start doing is like teams, like just like F1 has, like for manufacturers and stuff like that. But actually having manufacturers have their own teams, like Team MDT for one, or Team Foundation, Team Impact, Team JE Precision, etc. But that is one of the things that we're gonna put some work into this year to institute for next year. But I think along those lines, and especially if we got some commentary and stuff going on, that shooting is more than just showing up on a match weekend shooting. I think a call to DraftKings might be in order, right? Where we just see, hey, what is it?
The small talk's been kind of near it like fantasy football.
Sure.
As far as like how that betting process goes, which I don't do that, so I don't actually know, but it sounded cool when they were talking about it.
I mean, that's what we've been doing for at least a year. We pick out, 2 or 3 guys that want to play, and we draft. We just do a snake draft. It's an absolute blast. It makes it a much more spectatory sport.
For the PRS?
Yeah.
Who's doing this?
I've been doing it. This is my idea. What are you talking about?
I mean, you just do it by yourself?
No, I've done it with Orgain, with Bushman, with Chris Valdez. There's a pretty big list of us that have done it, and at the finale we did it for match finishers and bullet winners, and we each picked 10. So I mean, it was a big draft. Usually, depending on the match, we'll just pick 3 or 5, and then like top semi-pro, something like that. It gets really fun. We just bet ice cream on it. We don't go crazy, but it'd be a lot more fun if we could do something else.
Okay. Well, Bill Tinkup, we need a little bit of software to probably help with this. But I bet if we throw this idea in front of him, I bet it wouldn't be too big a lift to get him to do something like that.
Guy's good at his job. Probably take him 5 minutes.
Probably. I like it. I've done golf betting and stuff in the past where you get like a group, a B group, a C group, a D group, and you got to pick 2 from each or something like that. But we could do that with classifications, right?
Yeah.
Or even unclassified. But you got to pick your top 2 pro shooters, top 2 semi-pro, top 2 marksmen, top 2 amateur, and see how it goes. Okay. Maybe this year. I don't know.
Wait.
That's all it takes.
It's a whole lot of fun.
Awesome.
You find yourself rooting for for some really, really random stuff.
I like it. Any other box of worm ideas there you got, Josh?
I think I'm out of them.
That's it. We're gonna bet. Yeah, I like it. If anybody made it this far in the show and you want to comment on it, man, send some comments out. Hopefully, I'm going to do my damnedest to get this thing cut and up sometime in the next 24 hours. But if anybody out there wants to help out in any way, if that's whether being a host on the show or wants to do editing for us, has show ideas, that type of thing, please reach out. And of course, any questions, comments, and criticisms, in the comments, it's all welcome. So anyways, let's wrap this up. I appreciate you guys. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.